Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. All right, so it's just being reported now. TMZ. I don't know if that's the original source. I believe it is. Let's say it is. Juice World. They don't. I mean, Daily Mail just go ahead and sort of comes to the conclusion that he suffered an opioid overdose. That's not reported exactly that way. It says that members of his entourage, a member of his crew that were on board the plane with him, witnessed him taking some unknown pills, immediately before he went into seizures, immediately before landing and then going into seizures, that led to his death. So, but in addition to that, it's also being reported that 70 pounds of marijuana in like vacuum sealed bags, which is a considerable amount of weed for sure, you know, um, were found in the plane. And it was his private jet. I don't know, if he was chartering that jet, or I don't know that he has the kind of wealth to own a jet at this stage. His career, while it was, just taking off, I don't think he was quite at that level yet. So that's totally unknown. But there's some photos of of the um, the marijuana, and some weapons were found as well. And I'll just get through the details in a second. What sort of kind of took me by surprise here is that it seems like authorities were waiting for him in the hangar, waiting for him to arrive to search this plane. I mean, I don't think authorities were waiting there to escort him because he was some kind of high profile VIP. I don't know. That's just what it says, So the title of the Daily Mail reads: Juice World 21 suffered a fatal seizure as Chicago cops searched his private jet and found 70 pounds of marijuana, handguns, and armor-piercing bullets. As police say, he was treated for an opioid overdose. So, I mean, that he was treated for that. We just don't know, until he has an autopsy and the, toxicology report is made public. We won't know for sure exactly what it is that he ingested. Fentanyl and opioids is, it's just killing so many people, and it's so commonly is the result, is the cause of these overdose deaths that's what people normally assume. So officers and agents had been waiting inside the Atlantic Aviation hangar for the 21-year-old's jet to arrive from Los Angeles at 1:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. I think he got in at 1:10 a.m. actually. And, earlier it was reported that he was walking through the airport, I think I made that assumption, that he collapsed in the airport, but here it was immediately upon deplaning, that's when he collapsed. When the authorities were searching a plane, they were waiting for him. If you quickly, I'm just kind of doing this right now, quickly off the fly, but as I'm processing it, they were there to search his plane for drugs, I believe. That's what it sounds like. So let me just repeat. Officers and agents had been waiting inside the Atlantic Aviation hangar for the 21-year-old's jet to arrive from Los Angeles at 1:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. As officers began sifting through a number of the suitcases on board, the rapper, real name Jared Higgins, began convulsing and going into a seizure. An agent is then said to have administered 2 doses of Narcan, an emergency treatment used when an opioid overdose is suspected. Member of Higgins, Juice World's entourage, said the Lucid Dreams star had taken several unknown pills moments before falling in. TMZ reported a search of luggage aboard the jet yielded 41 vacuum-sealed bags or 70 pounds of marijuana, 6 bottles of prescription codeine cough syrup. Investigators also confirmed that 2 9mm pistols, a .40 caliber pistol, a high-capacity ammunition magazine, and metal-piercing bullets were also found on board. The prescription codeine cough syrup, I don't know. I think you take that in conjunction with something else, but I'm not real sure. Believe me, I used to party a ton. Nothing like it's done today. It's become common, and it's just so many people die now from overdoses to opioids. Late rapper Juice World reportedly began convulsing and went into cardiac arrest as law enforcement searched luggage aboard his private jet for guns and drugs at a hangar inside Chicago Midway's airport, officials said. Officers and federal agents had been waiting inside the Atlantic aviation hangar for the 20-year-old's flight to arrive from Los Angeles at 1:30 a.m. on Sunday morning following suspicions the musician was in possession of contraband, the Chicago Tribune reported. You know what, dude? I just had a thought for sure. You know, I don't know. It wouldn't shock me if he got a phone call, you know, telling him, listen, dude, there's people waiting for you here, you know. And if he did something silly, thinking it, you know, what, I don't know, dude, and just swallowed more than, you know, several pills, not obviously like, you know, gobs and gobs of it, but thinking, I don't know, dude, I don't know. As officers began, if you understand what I'm saying, just because that might be, you know, obviously you'd be in huge trouble for 70 pounds of marijuana and you know, weapons that aren't registered properly or whatever. But opioids, that carries a totally different, you know, thing to it, sentence and so forth. I'm not a cop. I'm not a lawyer. As officers began sifting through his and his entourage's suitcase, the up-and-coming star, real name Jared Higgins, began convulsing and going into a seizure, law enforcement sources told the outlet. An agent is then said to have administered Higgins 2 doses of Narcan, an emergency treatment used when an opioid overdose is suspected. According to law enforcement, members of Higgins' entourage said the lucid dreams star had taken several unknown pills moments before falling ill, TMZ reported. Higgins eventually woke up, but incoherent and bleeding from the mouth, police said. He's understood to have been conscious when he was taken to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn, but was pronounced dead an hour later. That's crazy, man. It's obviously terrible, man, but it's just, you know, God only knows, you know, what he ingested. The search of luggage aboard the jet yielded 41 vacuum-sealed or 70 pounds of marijuana and 6 bottles of prescription codeine cough syrup, which contains opioids. You know, and even the fact that, you know, members of his entourage witnessed him taking unknown pills, that might lead, you know, my theory might have some, you know, some merit to it, you know, that he took a bunch of opioids thinking, you know, it wasn't too much, and to avoid law enforcement for it. I don't know, dude. Or he thought he was going to be arrested for who the hell knows. One of the rapper's friends told TMZ that Higgins suffered from a Percocet problem, and he would regularly consume the highly addictive opioid, which can have fatal side effects when mixed with alcohol or other substances. So it's very possible Percocet's bad. I guess they're all different strengths, you know, but it's nothing like, you know, some of the heavier opioids, as I understand it. But, I mean, it's bad. Percocet's been around forever, but it's not like fentanyl or heroin. For now, it remains unclear whether the drugs played a role in Higgins' sudden passing, with a specific cause of death yet to be determined. An autopsy is slated to be carried out by Cook County Medical Examiner later Monday. The rapper had been around 10 or 12 people at the time of the fatal seizure, including his girlfriend, Allie Lottie, and his 2 security guards, Henry Dean and Christopher Long. Both Long and Dean were arrested by Chicago Police Department at the airport after they were found to be in possession of 3 guns found in the search, in addition to a high-capacity magazine and metal-piercing bullets. Goes on to talk about their charges. No drugs have yet been filed. No drug charges have yet been filed against any of the people on board the flight. The marijuana and codeine was found in suitcases that did not have name tags on them, and an investigation remains ongoing. So the 2 security guards were charged for, you know, weapons charges. 2 9mm pistols and the high-capacity magazines were taken from Dean, police said. A .40 caliber pistol was suspected to be in the property of Long. That's the 2 individuals that were charged for weapons charges. Dean was charged with carrying a concealed firearm at an airport and possessing a high-capacity magazine and metal-piercing bullets. Long, meanwhile, was charged with unlawful possession of firearms. They are both due in court later this month. That's the airplane. There's the weed. And, you know, there's some final videos that I think a lot of people have already seen. A drug-sniffing dog made a positive alert for bags on two luggage carts, the Tribune reported, where the marijuana and codeine was later discovered. Chicago police say they were notified by federal agents while the plane was in the air that weapons and narcotics were suspected to be on board the twin-engine Gulfstream jet. He had flown back to his native Chicago for a belated birthday party taking place in his honor Sunday night. Wow. And I think he had just turned 21 last week. Higgins had flown from Fort Pierce, Florida, to Van Nuys, California. Van Nuys, California on Saturday. It then departed on to Midway, with the performer scheduled to fly back to California and to attend the Rolling Loud Festival in LA this Saturday. That's one of the security guards that have been charged for weapons charges. Dean then declared to police that he was carrying 2 pistols in addition to the high-capacity magazine. The third gun was believed to be Long's, was found in a camera case along with personal items of his, though he denied ownership of the weapon. It was at this time that Higgins began convulsing, officers say. Police asked Lottie if he had any known medical issues or had taken any drugs. Lottie told police her boyfriend didn't suffer from any medical ailments, but that he regularly takes Percocets and has a drug problem. In June, Higgins publicly vowed to Lottie on Twitter that he would finally stop taking the painkiller codeine. So that's pretty much the story there, man. Like I said, yeah, it does say the rapper had only turned 21 last week. I think there's a song of his where he says he's gonna, get rich and get and fake his own death, and so people were, talking about conspiracies related to that and stuff. It so much resembles the death of the young up-and-coming star XXX Tentacion, I believe is how you pronounce him, who was shot and killed. Is different, but so that's just the latest update. Wanted to share it with you. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I will see you in the next video. Later, man.